What's up, my people? Well, I'm here for we back in this Bible because I know y'all ain't gonna pop it open. So we gonna get to it. But this topic is tough because a lot of people, especially I feel like pastors in the church, you know what I'm saying, they don't like to speak on this topic because this is a topic I feel like a lot of people struggle with, and that's with lust, you know what I mean, and fornication, and sexual immorality. These is deep topics that people don't like to touch on, but it's much needed in the body, you know what I mean? Because in the culture that we live in today, everything is twisted and converted, and that's how you know we living in a wicked time in the end times because everything is so backwards. Like how we supposed to live, like we do everything that goes against how God designed it, like the covenant of marriage and why God intended marriage to be meant for you to have a husband and a wife. Because it tells us in Genesis, when a man and a woman comes together, they become one in flesh, and that's even outside of marriage. You know what I mean? That's even outside of marriage. When you have multiple sex partners, you're defiling your body because now when you have sexual partners, you become one in flesh. So when you keep doing that, it creates a pattern, and the bond is formed and broken, leaving you spiritually fragmented. You know what I mean? You keep going over the same trend and trend, not not understanding you're creating soul ties. That's why a lot of women and men, they don't understand why they feel so attached to certain individuals in their past that they have relationships, because you created a soul tie with that person. You know what I mean? And it makes it hard for you to walk away from that person. You know what I mean? Because sex is not just a physical thing just to please us. God intended sex to be spiritual as well. So now, you know what I mean? Not just a physical act. It's a spiritual act. That's why when you have sex with somebody, you become one in flesh. Your spirit, mind, body, and spirit. It's not just a physical thing. It's mind, body, and spirit. You are one with that person. Once you have sexual intercourse, that's why God intended us for us just to be in a covenant of a marriage. You know what I mean? So it could be sacred. So it could be blessed. You know what I mean? Let's talk about it like when you have multiple partners, you have multiple bonds, like I was saying, and then when you have these multiple partners, you not only exchanging a sexual interaction, you also exchanging what that person gives. That tie, that's like I said, it's a soul tie. So any demons that person has, you would now have. You coming in one with that person spiritually. So anything they have or they dealing with, you're gonna feel that spiritually as well. It's a fact, man. And it often leads to guilt, shame, emotional confusion, difficulty, like forming intimacy in marriage. Like when you do get married, you're gonna have a difficult time forming that intimacy because you perverted the intention of covenant in marriage and sex and how it's really supposed to work and how God intended it. And I was also a victim of this, you know what I mean? So I'm speaking from personal experience, you know what I mean? Because boy, I used to, man, before I got married, man, I was, boy, some of y'all know, you know what I mean? So I didn't know though. And that's why I say, man, these things need to be taught of what's actually going on, with sex. We hear about it and why, but we don't never get the why, you know what I'm saying? The reason why sex is supposed to be for marriage and it's a covenant, you know what I mean? We never understand the whys behind it. They just tell us. You know what I mean? In the culture we live in, especially for young men, well, I can't even say young men no more, also women, you know what I mean? It's cool to have multiple partners, you know what I'm saying? You be the man or the woman when you got multiple partners, not understand how much you defiling your body, how much soul ties you creating. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. Also, like the physical consequences that you get when you do these things, like risk of STDs, and then you get like things like all these unwanted pregnancies with people that you God never intended you to be for. So you know what I'm saying? You got all these broken homes, because you got all these relationships that was never intended for you. You know what I'm saying? So you got strain and family and social consequences, all these different things on the physical aspect, not only on the spiritual side, man. But let's talk about it. We reading in we coming out of First Corinthians 6:15. You know what I mean? So we can know this is First Corinthians 6:15. So this what the Bible say. Know ye not your bodies are members of Christ. So especially for people that say they believers of Christ, your body you're one with Christ. You know what I'm saying? So when you fornicating, when you watching pornography, when you doing all these things, these immoral things, you're doing it with the Spirit of God with you. So you're going against not only your own body, but you're going against God. You're separating yourself from God. You know what I'm saying? It says, shall I then make members of Christ and make them members of an harlot? God forbid. What? Know ye not that he which is joined to a harlot is one body? For two, save he shall be one. So Paul repeating what it says in Genesis. When he talking about a harlot in this instance, which means a promiscuous woman at the time, a harlot. That's what they called them. So he's saying when you become one with a harlot, like a prostitute, you become one in flesh for them. You become one. You tie, you knit it. So whatever she got, whatever soul ties she got created, you have those same soul ties, man. You have those, you transferring demons, man. And that's why the Bible, it says, but he that joined unto the Lord is one spirit. So that's what we go back to telling you. You join with the Lord, y'all one spirit. Why every other sin committed is outside the body. But when you have sex, when you do a sexual act, that's the only sin that's committed against your own body. And again, when it gets the Spirit of God, you got God with you doing all this immoral stuff, especially when you say you're a follower of Christ. It's crazy. That's why the Bible, this is especially with lust, man. You know what I'm saying? This is the hardest thing for everybody. A lot of people, I would say, not everybody, but a lot of people, because it's so popular in today's days, man. It's so popular. And that's why the Bible, in this very verse, it says, flee from fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body. But he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body. What? Know ye not that your body is a temple of the Holy Ghost, which is in you, which you have of God, and you are not your own? For you are bought with a price, therefore glorify God with your body and your spirit, and which are God's. So he's telling you, man, you don't understand that your body is a holy temple, man. It's a temple of God. So you doing all these things with God with you. You know what I'm saying? As a believer. But that's why he also says, don't try to. This is the only when it comes to fornication and lust. He say, don't fight it, flee, run, like Joseph. You know, run, get away, because you're not gonna be able to defeat it. You know what I mean? And like which what I thought was crazy is that even for when I got married, you know, I never cheated on my wife one time. You know what I'm saying? But when she was acting funny, you know, when she wasn't wanting, you know, I would think it was cool for me to go watch pornography. You know what I mean? I'm being vulnerable right now, so it could help some people. I'll go watch pornography, but I'm not understanding. It's no difference than me actually having a physical, in God's eyes for sure. It's no difference to me going to actually have fornication with another woman. So in God's eyes, I'm still cheating on my wife, because He said in Matthew 5, even if you look at a woman with lust, you committed adultery in your heart. You know what I'm saying? So it goes deeper than Him, because it's spiritual. It's not just a physical act. You know what I'm saying? Like all sexual, the Greek word for sexual immorality is porneia. Ain't that crazy? Porneia. So that means just it's immoral. It's going against everything God intended. And don't y'all find it funny that pornography, everything in the world costs? I'm talking about you got fruit, you can grow get fruit off the trees, water, everything costs but porn. Ain't that weird, man? Y'all don't find that weird? And sexual immorality is a number of things. It's not just fornication, not just sex outside of marriage, but it's adultery, sex with someone else's spouse. It's prostitution, paying or buying sex. It's homosexual practices, sex between the same genders. It's incest, sex with relatives, and bestiality, sex with animals, including pornography. You know what I'm saying? All that is immoral. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I'm speaking from a person that experienced this, so I wasn't perfect. But me knowing this now and knowing what it does to you spiritually, I gotta share it with you guys because this is a lot of things, like I said, a lot of people, especially in the church, don't speak on because they struggling with it too. And it's sad, y'all. We need to know what these things do. It's crazy because people don't understand. Even when you watch pornography, when you masturbate and ejaculate your sperm, that seed, if it's not in a covenant of marriage, when it's a marriage, it goes up. God bless it, it comes down. But when you just freely giving it, your divine energy, I'm talking about energy that is so divine that you could create a life with this energy. You giving it on to demons, man. I'm trying to tell you, it's deeper than what you think. You feeding that spirit of lust. That's all you doing. That's why you feel so drained and empty. You know what I'm saying? So drained and empty. But yeah, man. What I would just like to say, man, understand the reasoning behind why God intended covenant marriage, and especially when it comes to sex. You know what I mean? I hope this helped y'all. I hope y'all bless y'all. You know what I'm saying? If I can help y'all with any other questions regarding this, I'm here, man. Blessings and love, my people.